Hey guys, Scott here from Chernobyl Studios, and today we are going to look at the Neural DSP Omega Granophyre. Does it suck? Let's find out. So quite clearly, this thing does not suck. I just needed to do a little bit hype. So I know it doesn't suck, and I know you liked that tone. So please hit like and subscribe so you can keep listening to future tones that I create and see future reviews of various other amp simulators and so on and so forth. Okay. So this is, again, the Neural Omega Ampworks Granophyre. And this is the third Neural DSP plugin that I bought with my own money. Okay. This is not a review copy. Well worth the money because the actual amp head itself is about $2,500. So when it comes to amp simulators, it's definitely more affordable. Now, this plugin has a lot of new features, because when I had Nameless and NTS, it was even before that the extra pedals were added. Now, they have a new overdrive pedal, and that's really cool. I like experimenting with new pedals now. Getting beyond the 808 and stuff like that. It's cool, it works, but sometimes it's nice just to try something new. And I'll just make this a little bigger so you can see. This has 3 different saturation modes, which just have different sounds, okay? And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I just made a video talking about experimentation. You got to try things, and this is important. So trying things out, I liked it on the first mode, so I left it there, okay? And then the other cool thing that the Granophyre has added is this graphic equalizer. So 9 bands. You can do a lot of work with this EQ before you even get into the DAW. And I think that is a great time saver. It makes tone crafting faster. And you can spend less time inserting more plugins. So I'm a huge fan of this. I really hope that this will get added into plugins that already exist, or it will be a feature of upcoming plugins. Great idea, really love it. Really makes this plugin, this particular one, definitely unique and worth the money. Now, I have 4 guitar tracks going on, but I have 4 completely different microphones, and they're all blended together, okay? So this one, as you can see here, it's the 57 and the 160. I am using their proprietary speaker that they have created. The company, I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I'm sorry. You'll just have to forgive me. Thank you. So I'm using a 57 with a 160. And then the amp settings are quite interesting here. Now you can see the amp settings here versus here. These have the mids very much scooped, okay? And what I was trying to do is I was trying to create basically 4 guitar tracks, but I knew 2 were going to be ultra scooped, and then 2 I was going to add a bunch of mids. But the key was to use different microphones and get different tonal qualities so it all blended together very nicely. And that's essentially what I've done. And now the last thing I want to talk about before we go to the next pair is you have different tubes here that you can choose from. And that is amazing in itself that you can go between 6L6s, EL34s, and KT66s. In the same plugin. I mean, I can press play and we can listen to what the different tubes would sound like. So different voicings, different sounds, different character, all in one plugin. It's fantastic, honestly. And then with the second pair here, let's go right to the cab. I have an MD421, or I'm sorry, a 421, excuse me, and a 121 here. And these are all different positions on the speaker too. I didn't copy paste the exact positioning. I just set it where I like the sound of it, and that was it. And then this one, I have a massive amount of mids. I've decreased the bass even more. I've also brought the treble down even more, and what I forgot to mention on the other one is on the other pair of tracks, I had the high gain knob enabled, and this one I have the low gain knob enabled and even less gain. All right, so I'm really trying to differentiate and make things as different as possible so that when it all comes together, we create a nice thick tone. So before I even did any processing or anything, the tone sounded like this. So it has a ton of aggression and a ton of bite, okay? Love it. Very aggressive, amazing. Now, the first thing I did, obviously, is the first step of EQ that I always do, which is this. Okay, it's I talk about this in Guitar Tone Mastery, and every video I make for you guys is exactly the same, so I don't think I need to go through this again. Just if you want to learn how to do this, guys, honestly, the best thing to do is go in the description box below, check out Guitar Tone Mastery. I give you the process where you can learn and develop your ears, and you can just develop your own tones. You're gonna love it. So this, I'll just A/B the initial EQ. So all I'm doing here is I'm cleaning it up, right? I got the dynamic EQ here, cleaning up the low end. I've taken care of some resonances here, but you're gonna notice that there is just one of those fantastical whistles, just like a woo right down the center. It's so distracting. I can't even hear anything. But I kill it with this one, and I don't care how the EQ looks. I EQ until it's gone, and that's it. All right. And now with this EQ enabled, that annoying whistling sound is gone. Night and day difference. It's just like someone took the pillow off of your ears and the guitar tone just opened right up. And that's a great thing about finding that particular frequency that's masking everything, because it's not about turning it up in the mix, right? That was not a volume problem. This is a really nasty whistling frequency that we need to take care of, which we did. Open the tone right up. All right, now this one I have to confess, okay? This was another whistle sound that I didn't like. This probably I should have gone back into the amp simulator and relaxed the presence and treble knobs a little bit to bring this down and soften this up. But I just did this little EQ move because I was mixing, and that's that. All right, so 3 EQ plugins. It looks like a lot, but these are all very simple moves, and I did these 2 within 5 minutes. All right, it's not that big of a deal. Now we go into the API. I love the API. You guys already know that. I love passing my guitars through API. And in this particular case, I'm not doing anything with the high frequency ranges. Obviously, we have a lot of aggression already. I'm just starting to work on these low mids and low frequency ranges to thin them out a little bit and keep them under control. And then here we have the MVP of the whole chain. All right. Soothe 2 is just a plugin that you should get. Just get it. It's going to be worth every single cent. It's worth it, and I'm going to show you why. So let's start the tone with all the stuff enabled. Actually, I'll just disable all the way until that point, and then I will enable Soothe, and you will understand why Soothe is worth it. You hear the difference? The difference is massive. Let's do it again. It's such a big difference that I don't know if I'll be able to take Soothe 2 out of my plugin chain. And then L1, which is just for dynamic control, chopping off any hotspots here. Always the same there. So, I mean, guys, thanks a lot for watching the video. Let me know what you think of the Granophyre. Have you tried it? Did you get the demo? Did you buy it? You know, what's your favorite Neural DSP plugin? Let me know in the comments below. I'd be pretty curious to see, you know, what you guys think of this plugin. And what amp simulator would you like me to look at next? Okay, put that in the comments. All right. See you guys in the next video. Have a good one.